was a town that has largely thrived on the back of oil. Fort McMurray has seen both the ups and downs associated with that industry. So when the wildfires tore through this community 1 year ago, it compounded things for a community that was already reeling. In fact, some store owners decided to pack up and not return. However, for those who stayed behind, they are optimistic that soon it will be business as usual. It was the culmination of a lifelong dream for Karen Collins.
Well, enjoy.
Opening the doors of her very own Italian eatery on March 21st, 2016. Little could she know that her dream would give way to a nightmare just 41 days later.
And after the fire, it was a totally different town. There was a lot of people that going out for dinner was not on their priority list.
Collins returned to Fort McMurray June 6th, but only 20% of her staff would follow suit. Even with 9% unemployment, Fort McMurray's inflated cost of living has made it difficult to lure in new workers. Suddenly, Asti was open just 5 days a week, and lunch hours were off the menu.
We tried to find staff, but of course, there's no place for people to stay up here, so we couldn't get staff from outside. We were borrowing staff from other restaurants. While
there's not yet an official count, business owners say the streets of Fort McMurray are noticeably quieter, leaving them shorthanded on both employees and customers.
I've heard anywhere between 5% and 15% of our population that was here on May the 2nd has not returned. That means that many less people are eating hamburgers in restaurants, that many less people are getting oil changes, that many less people are, percentage get dry cleaning and so on.
Indeed, no business has been immune to the reach of the beast's colossal shadow. Insurance squabbles, fire and smoke damage, a loss of customers and employees. The hurdles required to reopen have often been staggering. Of course, there are also those who are far less fortunate.
So we had 276 businesses that were physically at some level impacted, and 250 of them were actually home-based businesses. So you can only imagine those particular ones were hit twice.
Those business casualties have also compounded struggles tied to an ailing energy market. Nicole O'Neill spent years in that industry. She says work was once plentiful, with employees jumping from job to job with the promise of higher wages. Now, unemployed since January, O'Neill is unsure how she will cope with her inflated mortgage.
Any office work, actually. But if that doesn't pan out, I may have to go work at Tim Hortons or anywhere where,
Still, there is optimism if you look for it. When Christina Bursey fled the fire with her 2 young children, the beast loomed overhead, and she thought she'd never see her business again. But about 9 months after the evacuation, the community welcomed a sizable wave of pint-sized new residents. More than 120 babies were delivered here in March alone, a big boon for this baby boutique.
We've definitely seen a surplus of babies. There's newborn babies in here all the time, as well as pregnant moms in here. So our city is rebounding in a way, and we're getting new life come out of the fire, which is actually a blessing.
That optimism is starting to spread. Dozens of new businesses have touched down here since the fire, including a spice shop and an escape room. In fact, there's a sense that even with its remote geography, Fort McMurray could position itself as more than just an oil city.
Are there opportunities for those that are producing products here to start exporting them and to start selling them to other customer bases? Or is there an opportunity now that land is a little bit more affordable and wages are a little bit more affordable? Could companies come here and locate and produce and then export their product?
Hope springs eternal for this restaurateur. She takes solace in the smiling faces here, savoring her succulent dishes. While the nightmare of the fire lingers, her dream remains steadfast.
It's been up and down. It's been an emotional roller coaster as well as a financial roller coaster. So I think we're starting to see a bit of improvement, and I'm hopeful.